Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Angels in Politics broadcast, and I am the white collar goon, the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels in Politics. And here we are outside in the elements. I'm standing right in front of the sun, so I'm just attempting to receive that universal download into the crown chakra, or receive that cosmic energy through the solar power. All right, so that's where I'm at right now. There is a topic that I would like to talk to you about, and I'll try to keep it brief. I don't keep many things brief, of course, but first and foremost, have you had your lunch? Have you had your dinner? Okay, so being that it's like 5 o'clock, I have eaten already. I have had my lunch. And I had a juice. I made a juice. I made a smoothie. Well, not really smoothie, but kale. Of course, the kale, the wheatgrass powder, the ashwagandha, the apple, 2 bananas, mandarin, apple cider vinegar. I was getting it going this morning or this afternoon. Um, but that's not really what I wanted to talk to you about. That was just what I had going down. I would love to hear what you had for breakfast, or what you had for lunch, or what you're planning to eat, and if it is healthy, if it is conducive to your body, your spirit, your emotional vessel, social vessel, psychological, if it helps with a sense of equanimity, cognitive balance, expanding your bandwidth of consciousness, or your cognitive flexibility. I'm all for that. Speaking of flexibility, I did do a little yoga right here in this yard, and not nothing too extensive, nothing too extreme. Just something like few Surya Namaskaras. Did a little bit of what is it called? Netra DDI, or the eye movement, and rotating the eyes and doing things like that. But where I'm at right now is I want to talk to you about. I should have brought my jumper, but I won't be out here too long. I want to talk to you about. Actually, it's a pretty good day. The inner child. The inner child that's within you. Damn, I know it's loud out here. Sorry, guys. That's just something that you have to deal with whenever you have neighbors and you're out here in the elements. But I want to talk to you about the inner child because it's super important that I mention it, because that's that part of you. That's your inner self that is true. Yeah, it's that part of you that is that we kind of drift away from as we get older, or we detach ourselves from as we become grown-ups or mature, whatever that word means. And we miss what our what our authentic self is, and exploring that authenticity is where you find your gifts, where you find your talents, where you find your sense of self that is, that will lead you to be the optimal version, the most productive version, the most effective, efficient version, just your best self. I feel like is once you have a sense of balance with where you are in life, but never ridding yourself of your childlike creativity, your childlike curiosity, inquisitiveness, the things that you really enjoyed doing when you were a kid. So, where was I? I was having a dream this morning, and a lot of my dreams, like so many of my dreams, and I document my dreams, of course, but so many of my dreams have to do with me in a school setting, or like this morning I was on the school bus and I was talking to some kids, and I felt like I was where I am right now, or how I look right now as an adult, but the kids were probably like in the 5th grade or something, or elementary school, not even in middle school. And one of the guys was like challenging me to something, like some type of competition. I don't know whether it was a race, or if it was a video game, or maybe could have been basketball, like a game of basketball. But he was keen, to say the least. He was adamant about it, and it made me feel good because I felt like it was almost like a reflection of myself when I was in fifth grade or in fourth grade, like being fearless of being fearless and not in the sense like I wanted to like do dangerous things, but more so in the sense of like, I really love sports. I really love competing. I really like basketball. So it didn't matter if you were, you know, tough shit or the hottest thing since the hottest thing. I wanted to play you. I wanted to go one on one. Like step outside. Let's do this. Like let me lace up my kicks. I'm always ready for, a proper game to hoop. And I don't know. I don't know. I felt like now I haven't picked up a basketball in years. I don't have the urge to play basketball, but like basketball was such a huge thing for my childhood. Like the dedication, the time spent, the hours spent, what was taught as far as like drive and development and just ambition and matching your ambition with an action. Like, so many people say I want to do something. It's like, no, I was like hooping every day. Like, I was like shooting jumpers like every single day. I was going from house to house with my basketball, dribbling up and down the street and asking if so and so could come outside because I had the basketball, and that was just my thing. And it was a level of consistency. I was very determined as a kid. I don't know if it was extreme because I think normalcy or what's normal to you is all subjective. So for me, I felt like that's just the way kids are. Like when they like something, they like really like it. Like they really go into it. And as I explore my authenticity even more so, I feel like that is still applicable to like today. Like I don't really halfway or I don't really deviate from that spectrum. If I'm like into it, I'm gonna go all the way. Like I'm going there with it. Like, and if I'm not, then I'm pretty much like hands off, laissez-faire. Everybody can do your own thing. I'm just gonna take care of my sphere of influence. And so I think that ties into a position that I'm going to be working on right now. So for those who don't know, I got accepted into a fellowship program, and I'll speak to it as the time progresses. But last week, I heard about this. Well, I applied for it a few weeks ago, and last week I heard from the final word. I had an interview, or I had two interviews, and then the third time I spoke with the recruiter, and she was like, boom, like, you did it, like, you're in this cohort group, and there's a month-long course, so to speak. There's a month-long course with, virtual classrooms and workshops and trainings and modules, and you're going to have to, you know, put yourself into a mode of like, focus and concentration. Is going to take up to 40 hours plus a week. So it's going to be like a proper job. And right now I'm not physically receiving financial gain from my quote unquote work, but I'm working every day, and you know how that works. You know what I'm doing. And I'm in the spiritual markets. I'm in the angel markets. I'm out there, you know, contributing to Angels in Politics, the philanthropy through altruism, appreciation, empathy, enthusiasm, benevolence, caring, compassion, faithfulness, forgiving, having a forgiving spirit, having a, and it goes on. But this is not just me. This is like me putting that energy out there so people can understand that you yourself, you're working as well. If you're listening, you're working, sister. If you're empathetic, if you're sympathetic, you are working. If you are walking around with a sense of kindness in your mind, in your heart, through the body, you're in the angels markets. You're an angel. Since you didn't have a term to 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 characterize yourself, or you didn't have this moniker over your head that said, hey, I am a doctor, I am an attorney, I am a COO. No, you're an angel. You're an angel because what you're doing is truly adding value to the universe, to the cosmos, and that is gonna that selflessness, that selfless service, that ability to be the be the giver, that person who is selflessly doing things, not in the return of like what I'm going to get, not doing it for the fruits of my labor, but just doing this because hey, this is how I feel. I feel like that's the truth. So I mean, the purpose or the premise of this whole video is about like your childlike self, and being that I just got this opportunity to participate in this course, that could very well be my springboard to taking me to a sales development representative role, and what they call SDRs, or business development representative role, whereby I might be on the phone, I'm on the horn, I'm on my Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street type of shit. Like I might be, I might be Grant Cardone in this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might be really applying that 10x rule. I might really be put my money where my mouth is. And I've said that before. It's like eventually, like I have to get paid for what I'm doing. I'm a talker. I'm a speaker. I'm an out there kind of guy. Soon they're going to have to start throwing bread this way. But it's not going to be me looking for it. It's going to come. And I feel like my subconscious, I feel that my subconscious self is playing these images, or it's like playing a film for me. It's like presenting this information to me through dreams of like me looking at, like, through this looking glass of like what myself was, or how I used to react, or how I used to act in certain situations as a kid. Like, I'm talking like there's dreams whereby I'm like late for school, like, or I'm on my way like to class, and I'm like, I've been out of, and this is not like college, university. I'm talking like I'm late for high school, like I'm a freshman or something in high school. But so many reoccurring dreams has me like, whether I'm at the school bus, or I'm at the bus stop, or this is so many things that pertain to school. And I feel like it's just getting me prepared for that big day whenever I have to make that transition, whenever I have to make that move to the next chapter. And I'm keen, like I'm definitely keen. So and I'll just end it on this. When I was a kid, I could play by myself for hours. I could keep myself entertained, so to speak. Like, I had my action figures, and I really had this huge imagination. I think like most of us did. I feel like we were limitless when we were children. And I want you, listener, to never shy away from that. Never deject or reject or push this sense of openness, this sense of curiosity, this sense of transparency away. If you like to play with action figures as a kid, like, you can find your way coming back to it. If you like to watch cartoons as a kid, you should still like find some time to look at those images. If there is something about, like, when you were that young, you could draw whatever you wanted to because you were unencumbered. You were bound by no constraints, and you weren't calling it creativity. You didn't call it imagination or social imagination. You really believed you were a knight. You really believed you were a Power Ranger. You really thought that you were a mermaid, or a unicorn, or fighter pilot, or a Dragon Ball Z character. Like, you were these things, and nobody could tell you any different. And this is the type of thinking that needs to resonate within us at this current moment. Like, you have to truly believe that it's not about what you're saying about yourself. It's not really about what other people are saying about you. It's not really about like how people can formulate, okay, well, like you like to do yoga and then you got your real estate license and then you got a college degree in business, but yet you're working in sales, and then you were living in the ashram, and then you like to write stories, and then you have some really like sexual videos. Like, listen, like nobody's gonna really know what your story is because they don't know you, like, and they're not supposed to. Like, focus on what you have going on, be about your business, and your business is, you're in the business of actualization. You're in the business of realization. You're in the business of self-actualizing so you can be the optimal giver, the optimal like version that brings unity, that brings easefulness, peacefulness, purpose to people's lives. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, people are gonna like sit here and try to like figure your situation out and figure your finances out, and they're going to ask you like, why are you working so much for the community and doing volunteering things, and why are you writing so much, or it's not like you're going to get published, or why are you doing these videos, it's not like anybody is seeing them, you only have one YouTube follower, like, subscriber, like why do you do these things? They won't get it until some of them never will. And it's not about them, it's about your purpose, it's about your alignment, it's about your passion. It's about aligning your passion with your personality and positioning yourself and pivoting yourself. And once you have pivoted and positioned and aligned your personality with your passion, and you have opened yourself up and you've asked God to transform, recalibrate, reprogram, decondition, and then recondition yourself so your vessel is expanded psychologically, cognitively, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, socially, physiologically. My gosh, you're gonna be a beam of light. You're gonna be like the solar star. You're gonna be like the moon. You're gonna be like that lunar energy. You're gonna be like the water. You're gonna be like the waves. You're gonna be like everything that has life in it, and that's God. Be blessed. Be blessed. Namaste and namaskar.